Hey there, fellow money-minded folks. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of behavioral economics and how it explains our sometimes quirky spending habits. Ever wonder why you can't resist a sale or why you're more willing to splurge on a vacation than save for retirement? Well, buckle up because we're about to explore the psychology behind our financial decisions. Let's kick things off with a little introduction to behavioral economics. This field combines insights from psychology and economics to understand why we make the choices we do with our money. It challenges the traditional view that we're always rational decision makers and instead recognizes that our emotions, biases, and social influences play a huge role in our financial behavior. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty of 5 ways behavioral economics explains our spending habits. Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll have a whole new perspective on your wallet. First up, we've got the anchoring effect. This is all about how the first piece of information we encounter shapes our perception of value. Have you ever noticed how the first price you see for an item becomes the benchmark for all other prices? Let me give you an example from my own life. I was shopping for a new laptop, and the first one I saw was priced at $1,500. After that, every laptop I looked at was either expensive or a bargain compared to that initial $1,500 price tag. Even though I hadn't planned to spend that much, that first price became my anchor, influencing how I viewed all other options. This is why stores often put their most expensive items front and center. They're setting a high anchor so that everything else seems like a deal in comparison. Next time you're shopping, pay attention to how that first price you see influences your perception of value throughout your shopping trip. Moving on to our second point, loss aversion. This principle suggests that we feel the pain of losing money more intensely than the pleasure of gaining the same amount. It's why we might hold on to a losing stock too long, or why we're hesitant to cancel subscriptions we barely use. I'll share a personal example here. I once bought a gym membership for a year, thinking it would motivate me to work out more. Even when I realized I wasn't going as often as I'd planned, I kept the membership because canceling felt like losing the money I'd already spent. In reality, I was losing more money by keeping a membership I wasn't using. This fear of loss can lead to some pretty irrational decisions. We might avoid selling an investment at a small loss, only to see it drop even further. Or we might keep clothes we never wear just because we paid good money for them. Being aware of loss aversion can help us make more rational choices with our money. Third on our list is herd mentality. We humans are social creatures, and we're often influenced by what others are doing, especially when it comes to spending money. This is why trends and fads can spread so quickly, and why we sometimes buy things just because everyone else has one. I'll admit I've fallen victim to this myself. When everyone in my office started getting smart watches, I felt the urge to get one too, even though I didn't really need it. It's that fear of missing out, FOMO, that can drive us to make impulsive purchases. But here's the thing. Just because everyone else is buying something doesn't mean it's the right choice for you. Next time you feel the urge to jump on a trend, take a step back and ask yourself if it truly aligns with your needs and values. Our fourth principle is hyperbolic discounting. This is a fancy term for our tendency to prefer smaller, immediate rewards over larger future rewards. It's why we might choose to buy a new gadget now instead of putting that money into our retirement fund. I struggle with this one a lot. When I get my paycheck, part of me wants to treat myself to something nice right away. But I know that if I put that money into savings instead, it'll grow over time and provide much more value in the future. It's a constant battle between my present self and my future self. This principle explains why it's so hard for many of us to save for long-term goals. The immediate gratification of spending now often outweighs the abstract benefit of having more money later. To combat this, try to make your future goals more concrete and immediate. For example, instead of just saying save for retirement, visualize the specific lifestyle you want in retirement. Last but not least, we have mental accounting. This is the tendency to treat money differently based on where it came from or what it's earmarked for. We might be more willing to splurge with a tax refund than with our regular salary, even though it's all our money. I catch myself doing this all the time. If I get an unexpected bonus at work, I'm much more likely to treat it as fun money and spend it on something frivolous. But if I consciously remind myself that this is just as much a part of my income as my regular salary, I'm more likely to make wise choices with it. Mental accounting can lead to some interesting behaviors. We might be willing to drive across town to save $5 on a $15 purchase, but not to save $5 on a $100 purchase, even though $5 is $5 either way. Being aware of this tendency can help us make more consistent and rational decisions with our money. So there you have it, folks. 5 ways that behavioral economics explains our spending habits. Understanding these principles can help us become more aware of our financial decisions and hopefully make better choices with our money. Remember, knowledge is power. By understanding the psychological factors that influence our spending, we can take steps to overcome our biases and make smarter financial decisions. It's not about being perfect, we're all human after all, but about being more mindful and intentional with our money. I hope you found this video helpful and maybe even a little eye-opening. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel for more content like this. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. Have you noticed any of these principles at play in your own spending habits? Share your experiences in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, happy and mindful spending. Like, share, and comment.